Question 35. Ethanol can be manufactured from ethene or from glucose. The table gives statements about the processes involved. In which row are both statements correct? Let's take a look at how ethanol can be manufactured from ethene or from glucose first. Ethene is a short-chain alkene molecule with a structural formula like this. And to obtain ethanol from ethene, ethene needs to undergo a process known as hydration. It is an addition reaction where the double bond between the two carbon atoms in ethene opens up and a hydroxyl group is added to one of the carbon while a hydrogen atom is added to another. Ethene is a small chain or short chain organic compound obtained usually from cracking of larger, longer chain organic molecules. In this reaction, the water has to be in the form of steam, where there is heat involved, and the temperature at which this reaction occurs is at 300 degrees Celsius, with a pressure of 65 atmospheric pressure and a catalyst, which will be phosphoric 5 acid. The second method of obtaining ethanol is from glucose. This is going to be a process known as fermentation, and it involves the use of some microorganisms like yeast. The reaction involves starting reagents of glucose and a final product of ethanol together with a byproduct of carbon dioxide gas. However, this reaction only occurs when there is no oxygen present, because that will push the yeast cells to undergo anaerobic respiration. Only in anaerobic respiration will this reaction occur. Typically, this occurs at a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius, which is comfortable for the yeast cells to survive at, and the reaction has to be maintained in an environment where there is no oxygen gas present. If not, the yeast will revert back to aerobic respiration and this reaction will not occur. Let's take a look at option A first. It says that the process of forming ethanol using ethene is obtained by cracking. This is definitely correct because ethene is a short chain organic molecule and has to be obtained by cracking of larger organic compounds or molecules. The fermentation process, oxygen is also produced in the reaction. This is false because the only other byproduct of fermentation is carbon dioxide. The process using ethene again, phosphoric 5 acid is used as a catalyst. This is true as what we have listed here. And the process using glucose, the rate of reaction is slow. This could be right because it depends on the amount of yeast present, because the yield or the rate of the reaction will depend on how much of the yeast is present. The process using ethene again uses temperature around 300 degrees Celsius. That is true. But the process using glucose uses temperature around 100 degrees Celsius. This is wrong because 100 degrees Celsius is too high for the yeast to survive. It should be occurring at a temperature much lower than 100 degrees Celsius. Option D, the reaction is carried out in aqueous solution for the process using ethene. This is false because at 300 degrees Celsius, the water exists as steam. So there can be no more aqueous solution present as all the water in the aqueous solution would have evaporated into steam. In fact, this reaction is carried out in an organic solution where the only reagent present is ethene and the product ethanol. The process using glucose, the reaction is carried out with reagents as gases. The only reagent in fermentation is glucose, and glucose does not exist in its gaseous state when fermentation occurs. Therefore, the correct answer in this question will be B.